building was commissioned by Red Pepper. As the business was growing, they needed more space but wanted to stay within the existing building. As you might know, production houses invest an enormous amount of money into infrastructure. To simply relocate is not an option. Also, the staff of Red Pepper is comfortable to travel to and from Linden. Linden is a growing suburb, and we're seeing new businesses coming up, so it's quite a desirable place to be. This is an existing building. This building was built in the 50s. It used to be a supermarket. So we've got nice wide spans. But in order to add any floor on top of this building, we have to do it right on top of where the existing columns are. So the column structure that you see here is the structure of the columns below in the building. I guess this is going to happen more and more in South Africa as we densify our cities, where we have to add onto existing buildings. But luckily, so if you can stick to the column grid, it's not too difficult, because most buildings are designed for live load, meaning it's people moving around in the building. So all these steel columns then correspond with the structure below. The columns are also designed to take our structure, so you can see inside here is hollow, and there's a lip here where we will add a panel that helps us to take services inside. So we're also using the structure to our advantage. So we'll square them off in the end, but the services will run inside the building columns. When you build on top of an existing building, the logistics of getting concrete and bricks up onto a building like this is very, very difficult. Also, the mediating factors is if we have to cast beams and stiffen the structure below to carry heavy structures like that. Essentially, it comes down to the most cost-effective way of doing it. Because a lot of these elements, as you know, there's people operating downstairs. So a lot of these materials are manufactured in factories, and they brought in components and elements to the site already made and is assembled on site. So I don't think the material cost is the only thing that you have to look at when you do a building like this. You have to consider the logistics as well as the material. So although a brick might be cheaper than a piece of steel per kilogram, in this case it's more cost effective to use a lightweight structure on an existing building. It's my belief that we will see more and more structures being built on top of other structures. The cost of replacing buildings is getting expensive. So if you can use the building fabric that you have and add a floor to it, why not? Especially as they are designed to carry that live load. In Cape Town you see many more of these buildings built on top of other buildings where we have more heritage stock that we have to work with. Not as much Joburg, but I think you'll see it as the cost of building goes up, it becomes more and more feasible to add a structure on top of an existing building. As our cities densify, we don't have as many opportunities to do physical gardens. So we as architects and urban planners have to find ways of integrating green onto the building. Because that's all that's left over. You've taken up all the green space or the brown space that was there for planting. So we're looking at an opportunity to reintroduce these plants because they support the flora of our country, the animal life, the insect life, as well as the plants change the microclimate of a space like this, which is very, very hot. So the plants shade the entire building. Every leaf that grows on this facade will actually place this building in the shade. That helps us for the cooling effect of the building. It also absorbs the toxins, and I think that's a responsible thing to do in a city where we can't have physical gardens and trees anymore.